Now that you've created your first email list, it's time to add your subscribers. So let's say you're transferring from another email system and you want to put your subscribers that you already have in here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go over to subscribers and you're going to go to add subscribers. Now from the screen, you have two different options. You can manually add up to 10 subscribers. So if you only have a couple that you want to pop in, you can go ahead and do it right from there. Or you can import more than 10 subscribers. So we're going to go ahead and do the import because we do have more than 10 at this time. So now what you have to do is you want to choose which list you want to import your subscribers to. So I'm going to go ahead and import mine to our Las Vegas events list that we created in the previous video. And then you have two options. You can copy and paste a list of your subscribers, or you can import them from a file. And we're going to go ahead and do a CSV file, which is pretty common. That's usually the one that it exports as from your previous CRM. So you're going to go ahead and find the file inside your computer. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose one of my random lists here. I've got quite a few. Let me do one that's a little smaller. I think that one's kind of small. Okay. So then it's going to go ahead and say that it's importing. Now what you have to do is match up the fields that you had in your export list to the fields that are inside of AWeber. Now, if there's a field that isn't there, you can create a custom field, or you have the option to just say, you know what, I don't need this field. Let's go ahead and junk it. So AWeber does its best to go ahead and match up the fields that are on your file that you uploaded to fields that they already have in their system or fields that you have created. And if it doesn't have a match, it will say choose one, and then you can choose from one of the options. So you can either choose to junk or discard it, or you can create a new custom field. So I have a phone number and an IP address, so I'm going to go ahead and create two new fields for each of those. So I'm going to go ahead and call this one phone number. And then you also have a checkbox that allows your subscribers to update this later on. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes, so they can update their phone number if that happens to change in the future. And then I'm going to go ahead and create the IP address field, and I don't want that to be changed. So once all of your fields have matches, you're going to go ahead and continue on to the next screen. And it's going to ask them or ask you, how did these subscribers join your list? Now, you really want to make sure that these people asked for your email marketing. So it does ask you in the system, what makes you think that they should be a part of this list? Did they sign up on your website? Did they provide their info to you in person? Did they purchase your product and now you want them on your list? You bought the list from somebody or other. I do find myself selecting other a lot for my particular lists just because they may have signed up on my website, but I don't have the landing page anymore. So I have to just kind of describe that a little bit in the description. Because if you select signed up on my website, they do ask for a URL for the page that they use to sign up. If they provided their info to you in person, they do ask for more information. They want to make sure that that person actually asked for you to email them. If you guys met in person and they were like, oh, here's my card to go check out my website, that's not opting into an email list. So they really want to make sure that you specifically, or they specifically asked to be on your mailing list. If they purchased your product, again, what product did they purchase? Were they told they're going to be added to a mailing list? If you purchased the list, where did you purchase it from? And then other is a box for more details if it doesn't apply to any of the previous options. So I'm just going to say, oh my gosh, I don't even remember what list I put in there. So let's go with the Las Vegas events theme because the list I have is just a test list. So let's say they registered on my website for a local event guide, ebook, each subscriber may have signed up for a different ebook or guide, so I don't have one specific link to share for each one. When they registered, there was a checkbox that allowed them to opt in to my mailing list. So I'm just telling them, yes, they did opt in. Here's how they registered, and giving them more details on that. Because when you're importing lists, AWeber's team actually does manually approve it. So you want to give them as much details as possible to ensure that your list will get imported. Now, are you bringing the subscriber info over from another email provider? Yes, I am. So you can choose from this drop-down list, or you can select other and type in which program you're importing your list from. In our case, we are importing from Infusionsoft. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Then it asks, should we send your legacy follow-up series to these subscribers? So in AWeber, you have the option to set up a legacy follow-up series. So anybody who signs up for that list gets like a welcome email. Now, when I'm importing these people, I don't want to send them the welcome email. They've already kind of been in my list for a little while. So I'm going to go ahead and select no for this option. And then do you want your subscribers to opt in again? This is if you want the confirmation email that we had set up in the previous video to get sent to them to confirm their email address. So in this case, again, they were already on a list. They already confirmed. I don't want to send them another one. Okay, last but not least, add tags to these subscribers. So tags are one of the ways that we can segment our list even further. So for example, instead of importing the entire list of people who at some point in time registered for something to do with local events, I could probably export them from my previous system saying this group of people signed up for this specific event, this group of people signed up for this specific ebook, and you can tag them accordingly based on that information so you can segment them later on. This is really only important for if you're going to be emailing people based off of that data. If not, then I wouldn't bother with it. Now, that is still information that is important to track. I would track that in your CRM, but it's not necessarily important to have that in AWeber if you are not going to use it for email segmenting purposes. Once you're all done, you're going to go ahead and click on Finish Import, and then it's going to send it to AWeber's team to review and then import from there if it is approved. If you want to check on your import status, you just go up to Subscribers and you click on Import History. And then it's going to go ahead and show you your import history. So let me go to one of my lists that has imports already. There we go. So here's an example of one that was approved. There were 479 subscribers that were submitted. 467 were added. So 12 of them were not added. And there's a breakdown of why. I found that most of the time when certain ones aren't added, it's because they were a duplicate in the system. So that'll kind of break down more details there for you. So that is how to import a list into AWeber for your subscribers. If you are interested in signing up for AWeber, I will have a description in the box for you guys below. We are affiliate partners with AWeber, but we do teach AWeber just because it is something that we use, and we do think that it may be beneficial to other people. So definitely check that out if you haven't done so already. If you have AWeber, awesome. If you have questions, please go ahead and put them in the comments and let us know. And thank you so much for watching.